Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mike Chase College Football. We are here on College Football Revamped, and this is going to be the new channel, and this is a new Dynasty series that we are going to get right into here with head coach Bubba Braun. Now, Bubba Braun is a good old Alabama boy, and he's shipping up to Akron, Ohio. Yeah. And I believe I actually spelled Braun wrong. I don't think that's actually how you spell it, but, you know, he's been chided his whole life on the spelling of that name. And he says it's a family name, and that's how you spell it. So who are we to tell him he's wrong? Who's going to tell Bubba he's wrong? I'm not. I mean, look at this guy's an absolute unit. And, yeah, we'll probably rip my head off. So, going to be a Heisman difficulty here for this series. We're going to go with 7-minute quarters. 7-minute quarters, I got pretty good games out of that. I've been testing this a little bit here. 7 minutes seems just like good. We get a good amount of plays in. So that's what we're going to rock with. Games come in at just like under an hour for me to play. So we are in the MAC, some action, and I thought about a lot of schools in the MAC, but Akron seems to be terrible. Like genuinely bad. Yeah, I mean, they are not a very good program. They don't win a lot of games. And that is something that we are going to have to try to turn around. I mean, in real life, this past year, they went 2-10. Last season, Akron went 2-10. The year before that, I believe Akron went 2-10. The year before that, 2020, 2021, they went 1-5. 2019-20, they went 0-12. Yeah, that's the past 5 years. They don't win a lot of games at Akron. And so we're going to have to really turn this program around and really build it from the ground up, essentially. I mean, not going to mess with the schedule. This was the generated schedule that they gave us. So we're going to play the schedule. We're going to get an FCS East game in here. Probably the only program that will beat. If we get fired, we'll just make a new coach and kind of start it all over again. Lose all of our upgrades. So it is January. I'll get right into that right now. It's January. New college football game coming out probably July. So we have all of January, February, March, April, May, June, July-ish. Not sure when July. I'm not sure if it's coming out like July 1. I doubt it. Probably mid-July when the new college football game comes out. So we have about like 7 months here with this series. And I plan on trying to get through as many seasons as I can. Despite this team being really bad, some of these players look kind of interesting. DJ Irons looks like a kind of an interesting quarterback. Doesn't look absolutely terrible, but at the same time, you know, just 79 overall, decent quarterback, junior redshirt guy. He should probably come back. We should have him for at least this season and next. Highly doubt he'll try to go pro. Always remember, that's the thing with this game, is these aren't like free agents you have to re-sign. These are guys who can just like choose to leave your program because they want to transfer elsewhere. That's something we have to worry about. We have a really good receiver here in Alex Adams, 83 overall. He's a sophomore, 89 speed, 92 agility, 92 acceleration. He looks really good. It's definitely a guy that I look at him and go, that's a guy that could transfer out, honestly. That's a guy that could go transfer to like Ohio State, Michigan, or kind of a top-end school. You know, in real life, that'd be something a player like that would do, especially with the transfer portal now. And with NIL, that makes it really tough for programs in real life, as we look at Air Force quickly. That makes it really tough, you know, for programs like Akron probably now. I mean, with the NIL stuff, you know, your good players are going to get kind of just picked off your roster, like immediately gone, because they can offer NIL money and things like that. So that's not in this game. We don't have to necessarily think about that right now. We do have to think about them just transferring out and not wanting to be a part of the program anymore, certainly, but Nil is not a thing yet here. This is still the era where, if you buy a player lunch, your whole program is going to be under investigation for like 2 years. And, that's the old school college football issues, buying a player a cheeseburger from McDonald's. That would get you into hot water with the NCAA back in the day. Some of you probably know very well about all the sorts of, I believe Des Bryant had an issue like that. That's why he didn't finish out his career. Was it Oklahoma State, I want to say? I believe Deion Sanders? I forgot who. Someone bought him like a lunch, bought him a meal, and the NCAA was like, this is terrible. This is the worst thing. They took away Reggie Bush's Heisman Trophy, and you have guys now like Caleb Williams, this dude staying in a penthouse in downtown Los Angeles. You know what I mean? That he probably owns and pays for. It's just the landscape of college sports, or football really, basketball a little bit, is so different from when this game came out. And I'm really excited for the next college football game when that comes out, kind of just to see how we can mess around with that, kind of how they implement that. So here are some red shirts that we're going to redshirt, some players that we're going to redshirt, but we're going to redshirt that freshman receiver and that sophomore receiver. Going to redshirt this left tackle here, 69 overall. Looking through here, and just not going to redshirt that guard. Don't want to redshirt, every guy who's just a freshman or anything like that. Some of these guys, it's a really fun part. You have to kind of, how do I say this? You have to it's almost like a risk analysis. All right, can we redshirt this guy, get an extra year of him kind of developing as a player if we have depth? But then you don't want to have injury. Right, that's something you have to worry about. You want to make sure you have enough players ready to play to do that. And a lot of these defensive tackles, I maybe should have redshirted that defensive tackle, but I didn't. Gonna redshirt this freshman outside linebacker. We're gonna have an outside linebacker issue. Actually, a lot of them you notice through there. A lot of them are either redshirt juniors or redshirt seniors. They're gonna be off the roster, so we're gonna have a whole new linebacker group as we get into probably next season. So we're through here, and one of the biggest players that I want to get for our recruiting class is a punter, because our punter is currently a senior. He's going to be out of here, and we're going to go all in on this punter. 500 points for the punter. I'm going to be frank here. I don't necessarily remember too much about the recruiting of NCAA 14 when it was a new game. I personally didn't like it. I kind of like the individual kind of calling thing. But at the same time, it really, when I look at it now, it's this is kind of it's the same system. It's just, you're kind of just putting the points there instead of, actually calling them, quote unquote. So here it is. Here is our recruiting board. I'm not sure how I'm going to implement this into the series personally. Some people find the recruiting very interesting. More people care about the games. I'll try to at least show an update. I'll probably show the top schools part. We'll go through it, look through here, see who we're making ground on, who we're losing ground on, things like that. Just kind of keep you updated on that. When we get recruits, when people commit to us, things like that. So 500 for the punter, 500 for this tackle up here, Patrick Holt. This tackle, 71 overall, I believe we're either his second or third choice, actually. One of the higher end recruits that is actually interested in coming to Akron. I believe he is a guy from Ohio, so it probably makes sense, right? You go to Akron if you can't get into Ohio State. They're focusing on 4- and 5-star tackles, so we can kind of scoop up here and kind of get the leftovers. He's a guy who's interested in us, and we're not too far off here. There's Kent and Ohio, Louisville. We're going to go kind of all in on this kid. We're going to try to get him here, left tackle, 71 overall. Getting a guy who would be a freshman, 71 overall, would be really big for us to really start building this thing up. So I want to thank you for watching this video. When we come back, it's going to be week 1 of year 1 versus UCF. Thank you for watching. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.